Hello, it's Ren Presents time. I'm your host, Ren, and we're broadcasting from Fortress Bloodstein, here in beautiful windswept Ohio. I hope everyone is being safe during these odd times with this crazy coronavirus crisscrossing the globe. And a lot of YouTubers refuse to say it because YouTube will demonetize you. However, I'm not monetized in the first place, so I can say it all I want. Coronavirus, coronavirus, coronavirus. Whoo! Seriously, I hope everyone's staying safe and taking the proper precautions. And one of these days, things might get back to normal. You know, my hands are getting dry from all the hand sanitizing. I'm not really off my game at all. In my day job, I work from home, so I'm usually home all the time. Sometimes I don't even know what day it is. So it's a little bit normal for me. You know, I'm good. So maybe with this reading, The House of Bloodstein, Perlamum, Chapter 20, The Treasure Room, might help pass a little bit of the time. What, since you can't do squat, you can't go out and drink, you can't go out and eat, you can't go out and see a movie, you can't do nothing. So sit back and let Ren entertain you. When last we visited the House of Bloodstein world, the gang put their equipment to the test, did a test mission to Baz. Sarah was all excited as usual, got some Saloma, they ate. They scoped out the Wunderlucks, listened to them boasting and telling lies. Oh, we just don't like people who lie, blah, blah, blah. Sam discovered the Wunderlucks got a hold of a piece of the Mourning Wall. And the Mourning Wall is part of an old Anuian fortress that had been destroyed in centuries past. And it's like a sacred place, a place of pilgrimage, a place of magic for her people. And the Wunderlucks having a piece of it is not sitting well with Sam. She wants to get it back. They discovered all the pieces sitting on the mantle under a creepy painting in the Wunderluck's dining room. As a diversion, King went in to scare out the cooks, and the cooks started chasing him with knives and brooms, and King flew away. Sam, Sarah, and Philip went through the malice smear and are now in the Wunderluck's dining room. So, we will proceed to Chapter 20, The Treasure Room, and see what happens here. This is a much shorter chapter than the previous one. Thank God. That other one was horrifically long. Let's proceed, shall we? Chapter 20, The Treasure Room. Sarah, sidetracked by the arcane, stood transfixed by the portrait. Philip grabbed the perlamum pieces off the mantle and stuffed them into his duster. Shaking off her trance, Sarah took some silverware off the table, but Sam made her put it back after a brief argument. Their task complete, Sam reached up and Kay pulled her back through the mirror, followed by Philip, then Sarah. "Yeah, baby, that was easy," Sarah cried. "Philip, let's see 'em." He pulled the pieces out of his pocket. Sarah was elated. "That's right! Take that, bitches!" "Now we've just got to get King back," Kay said. They watched the empty dining room for several minutes. Suddenly, King darted in, moving fast. He made a beeline for the gateway and came through. A few moments later, the store cooks returned with a fuss. With them was a store male toting a rifle, spoiling to shoot King dead. They searched the dining room, checking under the table and chairs, moving them aside, checking the rafters and dark corners of the room. They even checked under the rugs. They passed right in front of the gateway, their mealy, toothy faces filling the mirror, and didn't see it. They also didn't appear to notice the pieces missing from the mantle. They checked the kitchen and appeared satisfied that King, whatever he was gone. They shared a nip of homebrew, exchanged a few laughs amongst themselves, then the man with the rifle exited. Sarah was raring for more. "Well, that was a successful test, wasn't it? We got the pieces and they didn't see squat. Come on, then. Let's get Sam's wall back. And let's take the painting, too. I love socking it to these punks." The mirror's eye returned to the building where the Mourning Wall was displayed. Inside, the Wunderlucks were gone. In the center of the room was a large trunk on floats. "What is that trunk?" Thomasina asked. "It wasn't there before." "I don't know. I'll back up a few minutes in time with my sight and see if I can determine where it came from," Kay said. "I don't like the looks of it." Kay rolled back time in his dark sight. "Don't worry about that, Kay," Sarah said. "Let me back in there." "A moment. Be patient." "What do you see?" Sam asked, standing next to him. His sight came into focus. "I see the Wunderlucks and their guests, those people in the robes. The tour seems to be over. They're having a frank conversation with the Wunderlucks. Apparently, the lovely tour they gave them wasn't sufficient. The robe people don't believe they have accomplished anything substantial and have doubts as to the veracity of their claims." "Then apparently they are no fools," Thomasina said. "I suppose not. The Wunderlucks are working hard to secure the robe people's approval and allay their fears. Just as the professor had informed us, they're telling them that they are short of funds and don't have the money to pay what they owe Shook, and that he kept the more important pieces until they pay up. They're pressing for help and for money. I don't like the tone of their conversation. The Wunderlucks keep asking, 'What do we have to do? What do we have to do?' And the robe people mention several league houses they have an interest in. The Hollies, the Bloodsteins, and our house as well." "They must be working for Roth above George," Philip said. "Possibly. I see the robe people offering the Wunderlucks another chance to prove themselves. To assist them, they fetched that trunk from their ship and left it behind. They claim it's full of wondrous items and a particularly vile demon." "A demon? What's in the trunk?" Sarah demanded. Kay focused on the trunk. "I can't see, it's blacked out from my sight. The arcane often does that. King, can you go in and scout the situation? My sight isn't functioning outside the room." Once again, King went to the mirror without hesitation. He appeared in the room, flapping this way and that. Several minutes later, he returned. "Alert! The Wunderlucks are currently concentrated at their ship park. They are seeing off their guests. I estimate we shall safely have 4 to 5 minutes to remove the Mourning Wall before they return." "Then let's go!" Sarah cried. "We've got 5 minutes!" With the room empty, Sam, Sarah, Philip, and King entered the mirror. King took his place overhead, covering the group. There was the Mourning Wall on display near the Hytath heads. It was just a fragment of the wall, about 8 feet long and 2.5 feet wide. Sam threw the roping aside and lifted the wall from where the Wunderlucks had it propped up and held it aloft. "Kay," she said into the air, "take this. Be careful, it weighs quite a bit." Kay reached through the mirror to take it. He immediately struggled with its weight. "Thomasina, can you give me a hand? This is incredibly heavy." Thomasina came up, and together they managed to get it out of the mirror and through the arch of the machine, where they both struggled with it. "Watch your feet," Kay said as they let it topple. Thomasina unshod stepped back as the wall heavily whumped into the grass. Sarah lifted the Bloodstein painting of the two queens off its stand. Some of the framing crumbled in her hands. Philip came over to help her. Thomasina reached through and took the painting. She stepped over and leaned it against a tree. "That's it. They should be finished. And with a few minutes to spare," Thomasina said, dusting her hands off. "Let's get them back." Kay reached into the mirror to retrieve Sarah, but his hand bounced off the surface. "What's wrong?" Thomasina asked with a bit of panic. "I can't reach through the mirror. The gateway is closed." "Why?" "I don't know." As Kay and Thomasina watched in horror, the trunk opened a crack on its own. A withered hand appeared at the edge of the lid as it swung open. The scene in the mirror suddenly went dark. "Oh, gods! Philip! Philip!" Thomasina pounded on the mirror's surface. "What has happened?" "Something's blocking our connection. Whatever came out of that trunk did it." "Reestablish!" "I'm trying." "Help me, Thomasina. We must maintain our composure." The thought of Sam and the rest, thousands of miles away in Remnath, was maddening. Kay forced himself to be calm. He concentrated. The mirror slowly came back to swirling, fuzzy life. The scene in the Wunderluck's treasure room was confused. Sam, Sarah, Philip, and King were there, as well as the Wunderlucks, Aiken, Clara, and Ernst, with several stores. Lying on the floor between the two sides was a bizarre creature. It seemed to be a disembodied head of an angry bull. 10 lank arms, all wrapped in brightly covered strips of gauze, and ending in a withered gray hand studded with iron-like claws, sprouted out the top of its skull. creation. It's some sort of arcane demon. It must have been in the trunk, and it's fouling the mirror's eye, Kay said. The demon appeared to be either dead or dying. It had been shot, hacked, perforated with dozens of small holes. Apparently, they had engaged and defeated the foul thing, but now we're facing the Wunderlucks. The two sides gawked at each other for a moment in shocked silence. They killed the demon in the trunk, Clara yelled. Let's take their silver demon in retribution. Thieves and trespassers, Aiken cried, drawing his mulberry X-sword. We've quite a catch here today, look! Where is our wall? That's Wunderluck property, Ernst said, drawing his Joliet rifle. That wall belongs to my people, Sam replied, pointing at him, her claws glinting in the light. And I have reclaimed it. What have you done with it? Taken it beyond your reach. Oh, listen to the little peasant, Clara said. She's going to be cleaning our floors and licking our boots. That's what's good for Manama Sam shot Clara a deadly look and clenched her fists. Clara immediately backed away and squared herself in front of Sarah, apparently frightened by Sam's strength and willing to face the less intimidating, more fightable Sarah. Thomasina pressed on the mirror's face, trying to get through. Open the doorway, she yelled. It's not working, Kay answered. Aiken Wunderluck spoke. If you must know, we bought that piece fair and square. We paid 500 Solaris to a hospitality from Baz for it. It belongs to us. I even have a receipt for the sale if you'd like to see it. Liars, Sam said. Ernst leveled his rifle at Sam's chest. You're all our prisoners, Blanchfords, except for the Manama. Get on your knees, Manama. Beg me not to kill you. He cocked his weapon. Sam stepped forward, unafraid. You want me on my knees? You Remnath Bracharola? Why don't you put me there? You sounded tough enough earlier as you lied to your guests. Let's see it. I am unarmed. Put me on my knees. Do it, if you are able. She leaned up against the muzzle of the rifle. Ernst hesitated and adjusted his grip. Come on, Ernst, put her down, shoot her, Clara said, encouraging him. Shut up, Sarah responded. Pull that trigger, Joe boy, and it's war with the House of Blanchford. And guess whose side the sisters will take? Yours? Ha! We're taking back our stuff, bitches, and be thankful we're not wrecking this place for our trouble. Never mess with the Vith. How did a pack of ridiculous fumble wagons such as yourself breach this household? Aiken demanded. When you have access to real arcane items like we do, it's not hard. You're a bunch of amateurs. Items? What items? Aiken said. Give them to us. You stand in our holdings, and you are our prisoners by right of law, subject to our mercy. Dare you go against the law? Give them to us or die. Fah, Sarah scoffed. Kay, get us out of here, she said, raising her hands. You're not going anywhere, Aiken said, looking around and seeing nothing. Clara, please sound the alarm. Clara turned to her left, and Sarah got in front of her. Not so fast, toots. Stand right where you are. Ernst had had enough. I'm going to put me this Monema's brains all over the wall. Before he could press the trigger, King came down in a streak and bisected his rifle, breaking it in two. Sam charged into him, and a general conflagration began. Aiken squared off with Philip, and Clara tried to get around Sarah to hit the alarm button on the far wall. Sam fought the much larger Ernst with unusual anger. She locked up with him and tested his strength. Clara! He cried in distress. Clara, get the alarm! I need help! Sam's strength was too much for him. She smacked him in the chin and doubled him over with a blow to the belly. He slumped to the ground, trying to protect his face. Aiken lit up his mulberry X-sword and came at Sam. Philip formed his sap into a similarly sized weapon and intercepted him, their weapons clashing and sparking. The Storers held back. They looked terrified. Philip! Thomasina cried as she watched. Kay, we have to get them back. The gateway won't open. They must be rid of that demon and the trunk as well. Clara and Sarah came to blows, the two cursing at each other. Sarah was a pure brawler, straight ahead, fighting rough like Magistrate Kylos had always taught her, using her gift of strength. In contrast, Clara, as she did in Wham, fought in some sort of formal, compact Remnath style. She overcame Sarah's brutish attack with good technique. She put a powerful frontal kick into Sarah's belly and knocked her down. She fled past Sarah to the other side of the room, hitting the alarm button at last. Sirens went off. Gates came down. Aiken and Philip whirled round and round. You Stores! Aiken roared. Get to that trunk. There must be something inside we can use to quell this lot. Do it now. The stores, full of dread, approached that trunk. They stepped lightly, some groveled. Sarah caught up to Clara and pummeled her in the kidney, sending her down. King, she yelled as she beat on Clara. Take care of that trunk. Mess it up. King moved in a blur, passing through the trunk and coming out the other side, perforating it many times as the frightened stores watched. Yeah, shoo, the stores cried, trying to wave King away. King did a number on the trunk. It fell over, a destroyed and smoking piece of wreckage littering the center of the room. The Wunderlucks were furious. That was ours, Clara roared. She turned to fight Sarah chest to chest, pummeling her. I'm gonna take it out of your ass. More Wunderlucks and their staff charged into the room. Secret doors slid open, paintings moved aside, trap doors opened. They entered the fray, bearing pistols and swords. Rusty Wunderluck entered the room, calmly surveying the situation. Take control of this lot, he said. I want prisoners for barter. Sam lifted the beaten Ernst into the air and threw him into the newcomers like a giant bag of potatoes, knocking them over. Get them! Subdue them! We'll hold them for ransom, but the Monument dies! Rusty Wunderluck yelled, seeing an opportunity. Death for the Monument! Guns were leveled in Sam's direction. Then came the commotion of mass gunfire with muzzle flashes and smoke. Sam, moving like a cheetah, evaded the blast and threw herself into the masked Wunderluck newcomers, toppling them, flashing her claws, tearing out throats. Philip parried the Mulberry X sword from Aiken's hand as several more came in, brandishing weapons. He skinned his Poltava and covered Sam's rear as best he could. Sam tossed Wunderlucks aside, pummeling them. She ripped the high-tap heads from their mounts and threw them. They hit the walls and broke open like rotten melons. Sarah and Clara were fastened to each other, trading blows, both battered and bleeding. Clara had a few handfuls of Sarah's blue hair in her hand, wrenched from her head. She managed to reach into her bag and throw several black marble-like objects. They grew, forming into cat-like beasts. King hovered, picked his targets, and flashed down from above, destroying the beasts before they could attack, smashing them, flying through them, in some cases pulverizing them. Damn you, Blanchford demon, Clara hissed, just as Sarah buried her fist into Clara's face. More and more Wunderluck surged into the rooms, faster than Sam and Philip could deal with them. With the trunk destroyed, the gateway began functioning once again. It's open! Kay cried. Pull them back, Kay! They need to bloody well hold still so we can grab them, Kay said. The Wunderlucks fired several net weapons at Sam, hoping to subdue her. She ripped through them with fury. As Sam freed herself from the nets, Rusty Wunderluck skillfully slashed in, popped a round disc on the back of Sam's neck, and then bounded away before she could react. Instantly, a geyser of dark Monument blood howled from the disc and spurted into the air. Sam, wide-eyed with surprise, whirled around, trying to get it off. Philip rushed to her aid. The Wunderlucks cheered. She's going to die! Just a minute or two and she's dead! We'll stuff the Monument Whore's body and mount it where the wall was. She will never leave this room, Aiken said. Philip punched him across the mouth with the butt end of his sap. Aiken spat teeth. The Wunderlucks moved in to overwhelm Sam. Get her! Hold her down till she bleeds out! It won't take long! Sam was quickly succumbing. The Wunderlucks cheered and piled on top of her. Kay drew his Poltava. He stuck it through the mirror. Pow, 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 pow. Kay fired until his clip ran dry. The Wunderlucks rolled off of Sam. Many Wunderlucks were dead, killed by Kay's unseen hand. King flew down and took Sam by the shoulder blades. The Wunderlucks fired at him. Bullets and energy beams bounced off his silver body. Philip returned fire. Sarah pulled her Poltava as well, but Clara clamped onto her arm, trying to get the gun out of her grip. Give me that gun, bitch, she roared. Give me it! The tiny King lifted Sam into the air through the mirror's frame. He passed through the machine's arch and set Sam down. Thomasina drew her Mount Calm club and flew headfirst through the mirror. She appeared in the battle as Kay and King frantically tended to Sam. Dark Monument blood whistled out of the hemolyzer in a high-pressured, gushing cone. Kay! She rasped in a terrified voice. "Don't talk, Sam, don't talk," he said, trying to stem the bleeding. Her crystallized blood painted the trees. He had to act fast. "King, this device is designed to prevent it from being easily removed. Can you disable it?" King fluttered up into the air. "Old me, Countess Samadoran, steady," he said. Kay struggled, trying as best he could to hold Sam still. The pressure of the blood cloud shooting out of her neck was immense and jetted Sam around like a fire hose. "Hold her still, Lord Blanchford," King said again. "Just do it, King! Take it!" He cranked her neck down and pushed her hair aside, exposing the hemolyzer like a huge black tick. King adjusted himself, lined her up, and in a blinding surge of speed, streaked through it, breaking off the top half of the hemolyzer, exposing its complicated innards. It gave a dying whine, and the rushing blast of blood ceased to a manageable trickle. Sam seemed to be safe for now. Kay returned to the mirror to fetch the rest. The battle had escalated into a full armed conflict, with the Wunderlucks firing weapons of various types at Sarah, Philip, and Thomasina. They hid behind portable mag shields that hummed as bullets from Sarah and Philip's Poltavas bounced off of them. Sarah, Philip, and Thomasina hid behind their saps, formed into shields. The green and silver stores took cover in the wings of the room and tried to ride the battle out, while the red and yellow Wunderlucks carried on with relish. Thomasina cracked Clara in the head with her Mount Calm. Clara crumpled to the floor. Sarah stepped over her, spilling out into the battle, firing her Poltava. Moving like an acrobat, Rusty Wunderluck targeted Thomasina with yet another hemolyzer. Philip intercepted him before he could put it into place, and Thomasina finished him off with a blow from her club. He went down in a heap. "King, pull them out!" Kay ordered. King raced through the arch in the mirror. Moments later, he returned with Sarah in tow. She was a bloody mess, her lip busted open, her right eye swollen shut, her white shirt torn to shreds. She scowled with battle lust, her Poltava smoking. "Did you see that, Kay? Did you see what they did? Where's Sam?" Thomasina took Philip and flew into the air as their position was overrun by the charging Wunderluck. "The Vith are ours! Don't let them escape! Don't let them escape!" as the Wunderluck shouted with glee. Kay seized Thomasina and pulled her through. "They're getting away!" one of the Wunderlucks cried. Ernst Wunderluck, his face purple from Sam's pounding, grabbed hold of Philip's ankle at the last moment with his ham-like hands. "Not so fast, Blanchford! Get back here! Somebody get me a gun!" Ernst's head and shoulders appeared through the mirror frame as he doggedly held on to Philip. He looked around in astonished wonder, seeing the grove and the fallen Sam caked with blood. "Ah, ha, ha! She's dead! The mother of a bitch is dead! It was the Wunderlucks who killed her!" Then he saw the machine towering above him, and his mouth dropped open. "What is this? What is this device? I claim this device for the House of Wunderluck. It now belongs to us." Kay thundered forward and seized Ernst by the collar. He clubbed Ernst in the face with his fist and again with his knee. Blood spurted from Ernst's mouth, and his eyes went dazed and glassy. "That's for my wife," Kay roared. "It seems the Blanchford dungeon hasn't seen a fit occupant in some time. Your obese carcass will do nicely, Wunderluck." Kay dragged Ernst through. On the other side of the mirror, the Wunderlucks took hold of Ernst's legs, and a fierce tug of war commenced. Philip, Sarah, and Thomasina grabbed onto his arms and pulled, with Ernst drooling blood, his belly dragging on the ground. He screamed as he was stretched at either direction. "If you won't come willingly, then I'll simply carg you in twain," Kay roared, unsaddling his carg. "2/3 of you shall suffice." Ernst's bleary eyes grew wide as saucers. "Gods, he's a madman! Pull, lads! Pull harder!" Many hands took hold of Ernst's legs. The Wunderlucks, outnumbering Kay and the rest, won the tug of war and wrenched Ernst back through the mirror face before Kay could bisect him with his carg. Kay managed one final kick to the face as he departed. Through the mirror, he saw many eager Wunderluck faces looking for the gateway, wondering what had just happened. The Wunderlucks catcalled and swore vengeance. Kay broke the connection and the mirror went dark. And with that, we conclude Chapter 20, The Treasure Room, and a massive battle commenced between our heroes and the Wunderlucks and their servants. Sam was pretty mad that the Wunderlucks had a piece of her Mourning Wall, though they claimed they bought it from a hospitaller from Baz. That they didn't actually take it from the Wunderlucks' land, they got it from somebody. They just bought it, and they said they even have a receipt, but Sam didn't care. She wasn't really listening at that point. A huge battle commenced. Some people have asked me why they couldn't go through the mirror. The arcane is supposed to mess this mirror up, so when that demon came out, its arcane presence closed the mirror's eye, and as it died, it opened back up, but very slowly. And the arcane items in the trunk actually also slowed its progress down even more. So until King destroyed the trunk, they probably weren't going to get the eye back open. I'm not really sure how many people got killed in this fight. It's over 10, possibly 20. This will come back later in the story as they talk about this battle and the aftermath, but quite a few Wunderlucks with no names that we've never heard or seen before get killed. None of the named ones die. Sarah and Clara fought basically to a standstill. I liked Clara as I was writing this, and I wanted her to be the match of Sarah so that Sarah just couldn't have her way with her. So we will see what happens next week now that all this murder and chaos has just happened. And most importantly, Ernst Wunderluck saw the machine. He could see it there in the grove, and he claimed it for the House of Wunderluck. And no doubt, once he regains his senses, he's going to tell his brothers and his sister what he had seen, and they're probably going to know that it is the Oberphiliax, the machine of the House of Want. That could cause issues in upcoming chapters. Maybe. I'm just saying. So next week we will continue with any luck. Some of this coronavirus crap will have blown over. Maybe we can go to a movie. Maybe we can sit down at a restaurant. I doubt it. It's probably going to be at least a month, maybe a month and a half before shit gets normal again. Anywho, next week we continue chapter 21, Inez of Inari, and we'll see what came of this battle. Sam was nearly killed by that hemolizer. These hemolizers are supposed to kill fast and are not supposed to be able to come off, but King was able to bisect it cleanly, and we'll see how Sam is doing in the next chapter, as well as the fallout from this fight, and there will be fallout. Anywho, next week, same time, same channel. This is Ren Presents. I'm your host, Ren, broadcasting from Fortress Bloodstein. Peace out.